Like while he's in front of you, right? Like this is me seated. My partner is in front of me, facing forward. So his back is turned to me. So all I'm doing is holding his neck and then kissing the nape of his neck. Hey, that's dominance, my darling. Hey, choking to ecstasy. That's why I like women to learn how to wiggle their tongue. Wiggle it. But you have to just do what I like to call it. Worship your man in bed. Worship his body like you're taking your time. Maybe during the weekend when you guys have no work to do, you just take your time and feast on your man from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet. No spot untouched, no stone untouched. That's when you will find out some parts of him that maybe he himself doesn't even know exist. The other things that you can do with his beards. Have you sat over his beards? Have you sat over his beards? All right, so I said, let me come and give you guys a 411. On today's episode of Juiciness, I am going to be revealing to you 10 most untouched places on a man's body that when you touch, he won't be able to resist it. Basically, let's just talk about how to drive a man wild with your touch, even in places you never thought existed, or even in places that you never thought mattered to him. Because when you know exactly where and how to touch a man, you definitely just find out that you hold the key to igniting a fire of passion, pleasure, and a deep connection that you never thought existed between both of you. Just imagine you having the power to make him melt under your fingertips, having the power to make him crave your presence like he's thirsty for it. He feels like the luckiest man alive just because you get him. It's not about what you do, but it's about how you make him feel, how you get him. So much so that no other person gets him just as much as you do. Yes, even if you're shy, even if you're inexperienced or you're borderline not so sure where to start, Mama Jane is here to get you that juicy idea. All right. Now, here are my 10 secret places that I think your man would really want to be touched. And then I'll show you how to do it in a way that will make him crave you nonstop. Number one, his chest. Listen, men love this, especially if he has some chest hair or muscles there. See, when you run your fingers across his chest, it tells him that you're into him. It feels warm, it feels strong, it feels masculine from the male's perspective. And when you do it slowly with just your fingertips, the part of your finger. It will send shiver through him. Now, many women go for the nipples because, you know, our nipples are sensitive. But here's the truth, right? Most men don't necessarily feel much from that. Some men are hypersensitive when you touch their nipples, right? Now, let me tell you what exactly gets them excited when you touch their chest. His pectoral muscles are the real spots. Now, the pectoral muscles are the group of muscles located around his chest. That's the spot. Primarily, it's responsible for the movement of the shoulders and the arms. So just slide your hand across his chest as you snuggle, right? And then use slow, smooth motions to caress it. He will feel your care, he will feel your attention, and it will turn him on like crazy. And do this for a while before you now use the index and your thumb to play around with his nips. You know exactly how to play with his nips, even with your mouth as well too. I don't need to spell out all of these things. Number two, another place that I think that when you touch your man, he won't be able to resist for long is his back. We tend to neglect this. I know I have said something about, ignored spots on a man that gets him really wild. Now, I am saying it again, his back. And yes, this one is simple, but so powerful. Men love it when you use your nails. Not too hard, just a gentle scratch up and down his back, especially when you're hugging him or you're holding him close to you. It adds sensation to the whole shebang. It basically just creates a charge for him. And if you're in the middle of foreplay, it can send electric chills straight through his body, especially during missionary position. And he's laying on top of you with your legs across his waist in an air conditioned room. Listen, the chills that you would have him have will be out of this world. Well, that's if you have a man who is a very reactive person. So you can just trail your nails lightly along his spine from the nape of his neck to the base of his crack. All right? And do it gently. If you have nails, you can do it with your nails. It will just send him. You will start to see goosebumps on his skin. Do it and thank me later, especially when he's what? Giving you missionary. Number 3, his neck. Yes, of course, the neck of a man is super sensitive, and it's basically often one of the erogenous spots for most men, especially when you do it with so much tenderness. But most of us women, we don't pay enough attention on our men, especially when we're doing foreplay. We always think it's just the man that is supposed to give us foreplay. We're the only ones who deserve, who really, really need the foreplay. But men need more foreplay than we think. Honestly, men need more foreplay. And the more foreplay you give to your man, a sensible man will know that he needs to reciprocate that amount of time that you've spent on giving him foreplay on you as well. Do you get what I mean? So basically, you teach the man what you want him to do to you. Okay? So pay attention to details. Because half the time when we kiss a man's neck, I think when some women kiss a man's neck, we just spec it or even forget that it exists or it's one of the erogenous spots for men. But understand that the sensitivity can be intensified by kissing it, tracing it with the pad of your fingers, caressing it tenderly. Then another trick to intensify the sensitivity on his neck is to have him sit in front of you in bed. And then you kiss the nape of his neck. That's the back of his neck, especially the area just below the base of his skull, where the hair starts from. Kiss that place slowly and then give him a gentle bite. That will drive him crazy. In fact, he wouldn't be able to resist the temptation to caress the part of your body that he can see, maybe your legs that are in front of you. Okay? So take this home when I say that the sensitivity of the neck is due to the high concentration of nerve endings in the skin. It is very sensitive, and that's why we're particularly very ticklish when you touch our necks, especially around the front and the back. When you touch even the side as well too. Basically, the whole part of the neck is very sensitive. Let me tell you something. The part of your body that is very sensitive can be an erogenous spot. Just know this and know peace. So to drive your man wild, you just slowly and gently suck on his neck after a kiss and then give him a playful lick. Or very just slowly bite his neck in between the kisses. You're kissing him and then you're biting the neck. And then when you bite the neck, when you bite or you kiss the neck, just blow on that area. Blow on the area that you've sucked or you've bitten to give your man that pleasurable chills. You can even use your tongue to trace from the side of his neck to the lobe of his ears. But then again, check in with your partner to make sure that he's enjoying himself. And another thing that you can do is just give him a slight choke. Just a slight. You don't need to put pressure on your hands. Just a slight choke while you're kissing him. Like while he's in front of you, right? Like this is me seated. My partner is in front of me, facing forward. So his back is turned to me. So all I'm doing is holding his neck and then kissing the nape of his neck. Hey, that's dominance, my darling. Hey, that's where we that's it choke. That's the right time that you can say, I will choke you. I'll choke you. Choke him to ecstasy. Number 4, his inner thighs. His inner thighs are very sensitive. When last did you play? When last did you kiss on his inner thighs? Ladies, sometimes you need to give your man the extra special attention to make him feel very loved and appreciated for all the things that he has done for you and the family. And you don't have to touch the most obvious male parts that get them really, excited, like his genitals. And this is where his thighs come in. So if you both are in bed and he has no trousers on or even clothes on, then you can start, from his knees by making circular motion as you walk your way up into the inner thighs. Then you give it a squeeze and then you continue with light strokes until you can feel his thigh muscles tense. And then you let your soft palm just glide through his inner thighs as you keep caressing them. Or you can just stay in front of him, right? In the middle, separating his legs while you're caressing his thighs. Then you proceed to plant kisses on them from above his knees till you get close to his package. But the focus is not on his package at all. In fact, all you are expected to do is kiss, lightly stroke the inner thighs with your fingertips, and then move closer to his package without actually touching them. What this does is that it builds anticipation such that when you finally touch his jewels, when you finally touch his package, the junk in his trunk, he would feel like crashing under your touch because the anticipation is there. And he's been waiting for it, especially when you wrap it up with your lips. Eh, hey. You will kill a woman's son. Eh? Idra da da da. And you're not just wrapping it with ordinary mouth. Or maybe you've put warm water in your mouth. You've been holding warm water in your mouth. Or cold water in your mouth. You've been holding cold water in your mouth. And then after teasing the thighs, you swallow the cold water or the warm water, whatever temperature it is, and you just gulp it. You just gulp it. The sensation will make zr, zr. Oh, try this and come and tell me. Number 5, tease his fingertips and his feet. Those parts are neglected most of the time. See, I need you to know that massaging and playing with each other's hands and feet can quickly turn into a heated sex. Even if you're initially doing it for relaxation or affection while you're on a couch watching Netflix. Fingertips especially are extremely sensitive. Touch it, just touch it. Not to mention that they are perfect tools for teasing your man. You're just touching his fingertips. And while you're playing with his fingers, make sure that you're staring into his eyes, and then you slowly bring his fingers into your mouth. See, any of the finger, whether it's thumb or index or middle finger, especially the middle finger, it will just be obvious which appendage you are reminding him of. Without you doing anything, or he just is remembered. And trust me, when he's remembering it while you're playing with his fingers, that place will be warm. It will be getting warm because the mind is now relating what you're doing. The mind is now relating what you're doing to how it would or it should invariably feel when you go to that appendage. All you need to do is to start to lick and suck his fingers, and you'll soon take the anticipation to a point of no return. Kashifo, are you hearing me? Number 6, I need you to find the Fspot. I've told you about the Fspot. Some of you don't even know what the Fspot is. Now, there is one more spot that every woman should be aware of. His Fspot, or call it the frenulum. Frenulum is the loose section of skin on the underside of his joystick where the head meets the shaft, right? It looks like the little V. It's just at the base. It's at the tip of that V that pleasure reigns supreme. The tip of the V, that's where the pleasure reigns supreme. So go and study your man's weapon of warfare. The V, the tip of it, is where the pleasure lies. Supreme. It's equivalent to the pleasure of a woman's powerhouse. Don't play, or you're gonna learn the hard way. That's what is very sensitive. So you need to treat it as you would like him to treat your powerhouse, with a light touch, because it's super sensitive. You don't need to put too much pressure on it. Light touch until you know how it likes it to be stimulated. Oftentimes, this area is, uncharted territory. Number 7, the thumb. The thumb. I know we talked about fingers, right? But we never really talked about the thumb. You see this thumb? Hey, hey, see, a lot of men and women have been conditioned to believe that, the joystick must be the central focus of attention for the greatest sexual experiences or the greatest sexual pleasure that they can ever have. But in reality, the experience is greatly enhanced by incorporated touch on other areas of the body. So during foreplay or, during sex, what you need to do is just start gently playing with his hands, and then you suck gently on his thumb. This instantly makes men think about you sucking, you know what? And it may even, foreshadow what is to come later in a lovemaking experience. Mad. Number 8, his love button. See, let me let you know something. Women are not the only ones with sensitive love buttons, especially the ones on the chest. See, of all the pleasure zones that I have mentioned in this video, his front buttons are the most sensitive, and it's at the top of the list of where men like to be touched. So men are not too sensitive there, but like I said earlier, most men are. So moving forward, I need you to know that there is a gem right there waiting to be tapped if you know how to touch his front buttons the right way. The aim right here is to make him novel sensation via the front button. And to achieve this, here are a few things that you should do. Number 1, use ice. If you want to create an amazing sensation for your man and make him keep begging for more, put some ice in your mouth. Very important. Temperature works so well on the body. And what ice does to your mouth is that it gives your mouth an icy feeling when you place it over his front buttons. And, it just sends multiple delight down his body. Number 2, use your tongue. You can use your tongue to create different delightful experiences such that he gets in a state of euphoria. That's why I like women to learn how to wiggle their tongue. Wiggle it. You could start by teasing the areas around his front buttons. That's the pectoral muscles. From there, you can just slowly go to his front buttons. All right? Once you're at his love buttons, flick it, lick it, and do whatever thing comes to mind for you to do to make him feel aesthetic. And keep at it and watch your man become a pudding in your hands. Number 9, his toes. Listen, a lot of us always overlook this area when learning how to please our men. Maybe because it's the perceived disgust that is observed when the topic is being, broached, when the topic is being talked about. However, the toes are gold mine waiting to be discovered. I'm not saying you should do this when the man is dirty. You must have had your bath together. You can wipe his toes with a wet, warm towel. Okay? I'm hoping that he's the sort of person who takes care of his pedicure and manicure seriously. But if you know that your man's toes are very disgusting looking, not attractive, please don't do this. I am only talking to men who take their toenails seriously. Because trust me, there are some toes that you see and this guy is clean. You know. Eh? So I mean, if he can lick your toes, why can't you lick his toes as well? That's I'm saying clean guys, though. Don't go and do it to a guy whose toenails are looking funny and it smells funky. Nah, please. So the first step is to get his approval, and then you can touch him in these ways. Number one, you can start by giving him a warm foot bath. See, the entire cleaning process would definitely give your man a good feeling and you a good feeling because you're the one who took care of his feet. That's why it's essential that you take care of your man. If you can do a pedicure for him, pedicure or manicure for your man, go ahead and take care of it entirely all by yourself. Because when you know that you've taken care of your man's feet, you are more able to do all of the freaky stuff with him. So he definitely will have a good feeling about it, especially a feeling of warmth and your fingers handling his feet. That feeling will have him feeling very relaxed. So doing this will just make sure that you have his feet ready for anything. So it's so important that if you're going to touch his feet, they are thoroughly cleaned. Then you can start to kiss his palms, his feet. Leave light kisses leading up to the base of his fingers and his toes. And then you continue this repeatedly to build anticipation and longing in your man. 3, you could just run your fingers across his feet, his toes, the base of his feet. Here, can you? Even me that I'm touching it, I'm feeling some type of way. Some people are ticklish. I say ticklish. Some people are ticklish, right? Just know that and put that in the back of your mind, especially when you find out that he's laughing. Don't be bothered about. Just continue what you're doing. At some point in time, he will understand and start getting into the mood. Just run your fingers across his toes as well, to in between the toes, and massage it. Just make slight Sorry, I wear stockings at home. Just make slight strokes in between his toes like that. And you can stretch it beyond his feet to his knees, and then switch from strokes to circular motion and then back depending on his response. All right. Then number 4, you can use your mouth on his toes. If you do this well, he will be saying your name and asking you to do more things for him. But you mustn't give in to his plea. Let it heighten the sensation for him. Let him long, beg, and cry for it. And if you do get tired of mouthing, then you can grab a sweet scented massage oil instead and just give him a great foot massage, hand massage, which I think that he would greatly appreciate it. And this brings us to our final point, facial hair. Playing with facial hair is when men like to be touched. Men with facial hair obsess over it most of the time, and they love to have it touched too. Why do you think men keep their beards? It makes them seem more masculine, and it boosts their ego when their wives touch their or play around with their beard. And there are other things that you can do with his beard. The other things that you can do with his beards. Have you sat over his beards? Have you sat over his beards? Let's leave that one. So know this and know peace. A man with facial hair, they obsess over it most of the time. When you touch it, when you touch their hair. But some of us women, we have the habit of simply yanking it. Suppose you don't know how to touch your man's facial hair, then let me let you know how. Let me teach you. Let me give you tips on how to touch his facial hair. Number 1, wash it. Nothing feels better than having a woman run her fingers through a man's hair, facial hair, and then you pour water on it. See, washing your man's beard is how you get to touch him in places he loves the most. So grab a nice shampoo and then just run your fingers through his beards until he feels pleased about it. So you're only not just caring and touching the place that spots that he likes, you're nurturing it. And these are the two of the loveliest things that you can do for your man. Secondly, play with it. You can ask your man to let you make braids out of his facial hair, or just touch it, or just feel it in general. And see, it's essential that you're very careful, as you know, facial hairs are very sensitive and you need to be careful while you're pulling on it or doing whatever. Okay? So these are some of the 10 places that I think that we do not pay attention to as women, and men really love for their women to be aware, so that they can, have some loving, tender care while intimacy is going on. So I would like to conclude by saying that honestly, most men have been able to claim that these 10 places have brought them the utmost satisfaction when touched. But however, there are other uncommon places that your man might enjoy that might not have been listed here. All right. And that is why it is crucial that you ask your partner where he likes to be touched, or check in with him if he likes you to touch him in certain areas. And in an event that they do not have an answer, you can just, start experimenting using common places where men love to be touched. I've not even called other places sefu. There are some people who are sensitive around the armpit. I haven't even talked about that one. Where else? There are some people who are very sensitive when you touch the scalp of their head, the back of their knees. These are places that I haven't really mentioned, but they're very uncommon places. Basically, for you to figure out some unusual spots on your man's body, you have to just do what I like to call it: worship your man in bed, worship his body, like you're taking your time. Maybe during the weekend when you guys have no work to do, you just take your time and feast on your man from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet. No spot untouched, no stone untouched. That's when you will find out some parts of him that maybe he himself doesn't even know exist. All right, so I said, let me come and give you guys a 411. Until I come, when I come your way, to know that I love you and God loves you best.